Welcome back to another episode of Cactus Plays Phoenix Wright is Attorney. My name is Bobby.
I'm Kevandre.
And this might be the last episode?
Might not. It might be the last one. It's probably going to be the penultimate one. So we'll see.
We'll probably split it into two just to pad out that runtime a little bit.
But then we accidentally do it like right before the end of the last one.
Right.
So like the next one's just like a 3-minute episode.
Plus 20 minutes of credits and us taking another 30 to do our shoutouts. So it'll still be a full length episode.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
It's not unusual.
But let's see what happened last time. We did stuff and we talked about things.
That's true. We proved that Emma accidentally killed Cowboyman.
Yes, that's right. And that he wrote her name.
Yeah, he wrote her name on the vase.
Because he's a cunt.
Yeah, I don't know why he'd be a dick about it.
Right, the vase that, was breaking, he wrote her name on the broken piece while he was impaled, somehow. Looking over that. And then I think what I'm thinking has happened is that Gaunt kept that little leather piece with Emma's handprint on it to show where she pushed him. Mm-hmm. And that's his blackmail thing to keep Lana in line.
Yes. So
we're going with that until something else crazy happens and it turns out a giraffe did it or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
This has been a weird fucking game.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well, normally this is where the prostitution calls for the witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have,
struck a bargain?
Ellipses.
You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and,
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prostitution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
Yep, saw that one. That's smooth.
But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Well, get the fuck over it.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say?
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. What a cunt. Why? Just let it die. Anyways. Very well. The defense accepts the prostitution's proposal.
Then it's settled. Here comes the bride, all dressed in white. The defense may now call forth the next witness.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
The bride? All dressed in white?
Yeah, the Phoenix is all dressed in white. I'm catering the event.
Okay. Where did this come from? What the fuck?
The defense accepted the prostitution's proposal.
Oh, I see.
They're married now.
Oh, we're married to Edgeworth?
Yes.
Then he's the bride.
He's the one who proposed, so usually it can go that way sometimes, but not always.
He dresses fancier. He's the bride.
Alright, fair enough.
Let's be real. He's already got, frills on and everything. He's the bride.
Fair enough.
Phoenix is manly. He's Solid Snake.
Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. And it's... Well, Emma ain't here. So... Oh, wait, there she is. Should we call her back out? Because she's the murderer.
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, rude. And I don't think Angel Star is the murderer.
I mean, it's gotta be the Luchador, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just like... Why fucking... Who would call Meekins again?
Nobody wants to see Meekins again.
A part of me is just running it through my head one last time. But yeah, it's pretty much him. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
So. Take that! Damon Gaunt. The defense calls Damon Gaunt to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant had first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. Alright, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
This fancy motherfucker.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation. Surrender your coin.
So, you want to play hardball, eh? But please, Mr. Gant, Luchador, sir. Fine. My name is Damon Gant, I'm the Luchador.
Now then, Luchador Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, Wrighto! What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time where Lana's sister murdered that prostituter? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish.
Most of the time it's both.
He's like, motherfucker. You are aware, of course, that a luchador has all kinds of weapons at his disposal? Folded chairs and things like that?
Right, yeah. Weapons!
Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The luchador of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Bitch, I'm gonna.
Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
I think that may be the sexiest phrase I utter all the time. Just, bitch, I'm gonna.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Is that sexy?
I think so. I mean, you have these, thirsty girls on Twitter tweeting out, hey, this is my Harry Potter line that turns me on the most. And it's just like, oh, yeah?
I'm sorry. Please explain.
Well, it's something like, hey, what Harry Potter line would you want whispered in your ear in bed that would turn you on? Your go phrase. Or whatever.
Scared, Potter.
That was the big one.
You wish. Yeah, that's the one with the most sexually charged line in the whole series.
Right. Yeah. That one got a lot of votes.
Yeah.
But there were a whole bunch of others. And I don't recall most of them off the top of my head well enough. You would be able to recall all of them because you, of course, know all of them.
I didn't see these.
You could look it up.
I could.
Yeah, but shame you have to do a voice.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to do that on a visual novel.
Yeah, I agree. But it's worth looking up.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at it on another game.
When you edit this bit, remember just pause and look it up.
Okay. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. Neil Gaiman, To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Wow, that's it.
Is that when Doc was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Rip.
Yeah, so he managed to reach down, grab the pottery from that position, and then write Emma's name on it.
When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
I disagree. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify...
Or even the police luchador.
Right. Sorry. Then I'd better hit him hard and fast. That's how Phoenix always hits it. Can confirm.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so...
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day.
Yeah, tell me a bit about that. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day.
Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic.
More like a liar-aholic.
Oh. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. We went upstairs to relieve some tension. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that.
Was the defendant Lana Sky also present in the room?
I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either.
So the two of you ran immediately after him, right?
That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first, so Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky.
Rude.
We already established that.
What's this about a power outage?
Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Somebody shot me through the elevator door, Edgeworth. Probably not as shocked as Neil was with that knife went through his heart, though.
You know, I like the idea of somebody just saying, so there I was, having just a normal day, going up the elevator with my groceries and all that stuff, when someone shot me through the elevator door, Edgeworth,
Yeah.
just to grab his attention and blame him that little bit more. Like, every conversation he has to relate back to that.
Yeah, I am familiar with that.
That's not funny.
When I went to my office, I found Lana there.
Could you tell us what you saw?
Want to play a game? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying on a heap on the floor, all tangled together.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, how are they doing that?
Yeah, this don't make some sense. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor.
Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls.
No, I'm guessing he's gonna reconcile that by saying, you know, Lana had staged the scene. Lana and Emma.
Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene.
How can you know that?
Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved.
So that means... you found the body near Lana's desk?
That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prostituter?
Yes.
Anyway, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
So, you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Edgeworth.
Is that how it really went down?
Yeah, it did.
Hey!
Von Karma's just in the audience.
Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright.
It's doing me some good, so shut the fuck up.
He's an attractive man, I know. If you're going to stare at anything,
If you tell me
stare at this.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, you couldn't see it, but I pretended to rip my shirt open.
Yeah, he Supermaned it. It
Yeah.
was great.
You'd be better staring at the court record.
Worthy, always the smooth talker.
But which piece of evidence ties Gaunt to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth.
Alright, so
Somehow, I've got to link Gant to the incident.
the body is over at Lana's desk, but he was stabbed at the suit of armor at his desk.
Right.
And they already said that.
Yeah.
And in the picture,
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Rules for submitting evidence. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
okay.
Huh.
So in the picture, though, the suit of armor is right next to the pot.
Right.
The pot broke,
Right.
and he bled out and died over there next to the pot when he was shanked.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been over there. Why would Lana have moved his body, like, all the way across that fucking room?
No one knows why. It's a weird thing to move it across. Plus the pot. The pot.
And what's on the evidence list? Half of the list was found in Gant's desk, right? So.
Right. And then it's the picture there. And I can't turn it around or anything.
Don't turn around.
Anyways. Stabbed in the back. Died from a knife tip was in the wound. February 19th, between 7 and 7:30. Super stabber. Died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. That wouldn't have been enough time to stage that entire room. Would it?
Yeah, he must have still been alive by the time everybody else ran in, right?
Yeah.
Unless under 10 minutes is like the lowest they can say without immediate.
Yeah. Files for Dark killings solved 2 years ago. February Dark. Those victims. Yeah. Okay, so nothing really there anymore. We don't need to see that again.
I think that we do need to present this jar at some point.
Yeah.
To him.
Just unsure where. And which evidence would be best. Because I'm not sure about this. And at some point we gotta tie this into it.
Well, yeah. I'm assuming that when he says, like, that I couldn't have been part of the forgery thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So let's go there. And we might fuck it up a few times. We'll figure out something. As you can see, it had nothing to do with forgery. That's great. But then, how do you explain my attorney's badge?
And also, he was hiding the evidence list.
Yeah.
Could we present that because he was hiding it?
Maybe. So we got 3 things to present. The jar, the evidence list, and this piece of cloth.
Yeah, I don't think the cloth yet.
Yeah, I think we gotta do a bit more. So between this one and that one. You got a preference? I mean, we've already done the jar a lot.
We can try the evidence list.
Objection! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
I love his fucking cat who got the cream face.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. Oh, well, I suppose just about any one of them could have worked.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it works out.
Sure, okay.
That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on.
This was discovered in your desk.
Ellipses.
Next to your dildo collection.
Well, a luchador's got a luch.
Yeah. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office. Yeah, okay. So either one would have been fine. Fine.
I luchador that jar.
I hate you because I'm going to think of that a whole bunch now.
Yes, yes.
Was found inside your safe.
It was found where? Yeah, we feel like we should have said something about that before.
Maybe a bit. You see, Luchador Gaunt, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation.
Luchador Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh! No need to call me names. Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
Beat his ass 3 times already, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him.
And got him off.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery.
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prostitutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Wrighto?
However, Detective Cumshoe was present during the investigation.
That's a good point. Good thing it came up.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
Don't call him Dick. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two and two and two together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I guess not.
Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
when investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the Luchador of police, right? There will be consequences.
Ugh.
Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Luchador, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Aji, in return, though. I know. That place, right? With the pizza that I made?
Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? More like telepathetic.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, that classic third grade joke.
I like that. I've never actually heard that before.
Have you not?
No, I have not. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office.
I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations.
I've had enough of your disingenuous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
What? I totally have the guts. I totally would have done it.
Yes.
I mean, I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped.
But Mr. Wright, what are you saying? 15%?
Are you saying that you went cow tipping, Mr. Wright? Because I'm going to kind of laugh if you do.
Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in that evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later.
Later? What are you talking about?
Back in my bedroom. I'm talking about when Wrighto's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal.
Grr. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Fucking luchadors.
Anyway, you can't prove when these pieces of evidence were discovered.
Well, one of them we can.
Oh, yeah?
Right, the evidence list.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, she drew on the back of it at the same time.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
What do you mean by that?
This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe.
Well, one was in the desk and one was in the safe. So.
Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery...
I'm not through speaking yet, Wrighto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless.
Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right? The Luchador is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time.
Sassy bitch. Tell me something I don't know.
Come now, Wrighto. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery.
Is there something we can present here? It seems like this would be a spot to present. But I have no idea.
Well, let's keep pressing through the rest of it.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to come back to that spot, though. How can you look me in the eye and say that?
Because I'm innocent.
Er,
Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Sky. Well, now do you see? Now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
Really, Luchador Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this, Benny?
That would, of course, be the position you have. Luchador. Just Luchador.
Just Luchador. Oh.
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Luchador. That, in itself, is sufficient motive.
Hope! 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 Oh! That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next Luchador. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edgy?
Yes, he was going to be made Luchador anyway.
Gah!
Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. When you point your finger, or got
I hate
four
that shit.
fingers going back at you.
Because it's dumb.
So that means...
And then it caused people in school to be like, see, no fingers pointing back at
Yes.
me, and they like hold their fingers in the opposite.
Yeah, you just point like this.
Yeah.
You know, like without our camera.
Yeah, you knife hand it like this motherfucker.
Yeah, you just chuck a knife at them.
Yeah.
there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Oh.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I.
And the judge.
There, it's out in the open now. Oh, and my cat, Footsie. Haji, would you mind if I change my testimony a little?
I like the idea of him having like just the tiniest cat that's
Yeah.
a fluff ball.
Yeah. By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me.
Nothing in it for you.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl. Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Ho! 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 Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Ha! Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? No. Point out accomplice.
If he can get her into the lawyer position, and he has got something over her,
Right, that would be a lot of power.
yeah, that's looking out for himself.
Yeah.
And she immediately went over to that job right after this.
Right. But the way this question is worded is awkward. So, I believe I need to point out the accomplice, and it's Lana.
That would be my assumption as well.
True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you've positively determined to portray the luchador as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean.
Very well, then. Who is this person you believe Luchador Gant may have helped forge evidence?
Oh, well, totally Lana.
Yeah, Lana. Luchador prostituted Lana Sky, the defendant? Luchador prostitute.
I believe... Luchador prostitute, that's a hell of a one. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances.
So let's not talk about any circumcisions now.
Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. I read those books.
I did too.
Yeah.
It's not easy to reread as an adult, though.
No, it's fucking painful. But as a kid, they were fine.
Yes.
Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana?
Even with Tim Curry doing the audiobooks, man, it's just, it's not.
Yeah. And as for Luchador Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed Luchador Prostitutor at the prostitutor's office. What a fucking odd way to say that.
Yeah.
The person who arranged this job change was you, Luchador Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the Luchador Prostitutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the Luchador's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
This fucking judge.
He needs to be struck off.
I don't know. Is it... Which one is it to take a picture?
Oh, it's,
Okay, thank you. I always fuck it up, and for some reason I keep on trying to hit the... No, get rid of the controller one.
Oh, wait.
You dumb fuck, Judge.
You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Never mind, child.
Admit it, Chief. Luchador. Person. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as Luchador Prostitutor, so you could control her.
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma.
I'm assuming we now need to present the what's it?
Right, the piece of leather with the print on it. Yeah. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about
The one we're actually here for, you dumb fuck, Judge.
the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Luchador Prostitutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone had been controlling her.
Dun dun dun. Worthy, you'd better watch your mouth. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
I'm just talking about Shaft. I can dig it.
Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Luchador Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Luchador is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? Order! I said, order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh? No, I'm Mr. Wright. Don't call me serious.
Oh.
Sorry.
This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency.
Yeah, but he's a dick, so...
So it's fine then. To accuse the Luchador police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible.
Nah, this shit happens all the time.
I'm part dolphin as well.
Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
Love that finger wag.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this.
Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the Luchador, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder?
Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Luchador Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us the evidence that ties Luchador Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Okay, so maybe not the leather yet.
Yeah, this is
because that's going to be what he's blackmailing her with.
Right. But what does tie him in, where's that fucking... This thing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, with his badge number. That's the 777.
Yeah, on 420 Blaze It.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's probably it. So that was also his password.
Yeah.
This is the ID card list.
Yeah, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777-7777.
Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number.
It's your number.
What? How do you know that?
The safe in Luchador Gaunt's office requires a code to open.
And he's a fucking idiot.
A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean he's not that fucking stupid.
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777-7777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Luchador Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Order, order. Luchador Gant, what do you have to say?
You better shut the fuck up and get a lawyer.
Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Luchador Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime?
It gets trickier with evidence than what they're saying. You have to prove that you obtained the evidence legally, or it is entirely insubmissible. Like, straight up, it doesn't care if it's 100% proof that he did it. You can't use it if you got it the wrong way.
Yeah, it's beans. What about it? I'm Luchador Police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. I pee in there all the time.
You pee in the evidence room all the
Of course. Right in Gumshoe's locker.
That explains so much.
Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days. Luchador Gant, I'm afraid you just undone yourself.
I've only undone my fly.
On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Luchador Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we must acquit. We need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us the proof that the victim went to meet Luchador Gant on the day of the crime.
And I don't think it's the phone, not parking lot. Where's it at? I think it's this. Can only be submitted to the chief of police. Yeah,
Yes, that's true.
it's the lost item report thingy-majig. Okay.
Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So, Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Luchador police.
Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it.
He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to?
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh,
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Luchador Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him?
There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room.
Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Luchador police, murdered poor Goodman.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But wait. The Luchador didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of that sort.
Bleeding.
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yeah, you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have had to have been found on his body.
Good point.
Whoa!
Fuck.
Whoa!
Fuck.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Sorry. We got all excited.
Luchador Gant, you didn't.
Dude, do we want to keep going? We're already at like way
Oh
back.
fuck! Oh yeah, okay. That's it.
All right, so
It's
We're-
getting spicy up in this
we're-
bitch.
We're gonna call it here, and stay tuned for next episode for the thrilling conclusion, because I'm willing to bet we're right at the end.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna call it here, be done for the day, and then yeah. Yes.
Yes.
It sucks that I couldn't get the screenshot of Luchador Gant freaking the fuck out.
It's okay. We're recording this anyway.
Yeah, but I still like to have the screenshot separate. Just,
Yes.
Hey. So maybe we'll grab it for the video. Anyways, let's go into our shoutouts.
Cool. I'm gonna do a shout out to a voice actor named Joe Zieja. I'm probably saying that wrong. I've been playing through Fire Emblem again, 3 Houses, and he's the voice of Claude.
Yes.
And he's great in that role. He has also cosplayed as Time Skip Claude pretty recently. He grew the beard out, and then he said that his wife or girlfriend was going to stab him, so he shaved it off. But yeah, it was a good cosplay. I mean, he doesn't really look like Claude, but like, you know, I still appreciated that. I think he does a great job in the game.
Hey, you don't have to look like who you're gonna cosplay,
True.
right? Go all out with it.
It's very true.
Right? Some of the best cosplays that I've seen is where the people adapted it to their body style.
That too.
Not just cross gender, but also like, hey, you are a 5 foot tall girl cosplaying like a 7 foot tall JoJo,
Yeah.
and I love it.
There was a black girl who did Goku, and I love that.
Oh
cosplay.
yeah,
That's
You showed me
good.
yeah, that was great.
Anyway, Joe Zieja, also an author. He's written several books, and he narrated the audiobooks himself, which is fun. I haven't read those yet, but
Nice.
I'm kind of thinking about it, so
Yeah.
should be fun.
My shout out is gonna go towards a Twitter channel thing that one of our viewers recommended. Hi Garrison. Called CuteSexyRobutts. And the tro is TRO, and butts is with 2 T's. It does not safe for work drawings. Some of them are kind of safe for work, but for the most part not. But the things that he chooses to draw are, or she, I don't know, but it's drawings of mostly women of anime style, and they get dummy thick. It's fantastic. I love it so much. The art style reminds me a lot of like Fred Perry's Gold Digger, past the first book because he kind of started off rough. But yeah, it has a lot of that similar style and how like the clothing lays on the women and stuff like that. So it's good art, but also I like the other aspects of it.
Yes.
Fantastic. So yeah, I wanted to do a shout out to them, and then that way Garrison can be like, oh shit.
He shot out some DNA to that TNA.
Yes. That's what I do.
Yeah.
It's my thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks so much, guys.
See you guys.